Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. We will be opening our doors in just a minute. Thank you so much for being here. Glad to see you today. And here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, depending on where they're coming from. So glad to see you all today. Hello, hello. Still lots of folks popping in. I'm seeing lots of smiling faces. That's good. It's definitely a good day to smile. Let's all smile. Everybody ready? There we go. Okay. Aren't we all feeling cheerier now? It's just that tiny little thing. So good. All right. I'm really glad to see you all today. Hello to everybody out there on Facebook Live. We're glad you decided to join us today. And thank you. Hello to Arlene. Hello. Nice to see you, Arlene in California, Karen in Arizona. Hello. Hello, Lisa in Indiana, and Susan in Ohio, and Annette in California, and Kathy in Virginia, and Sarah in Texas. Hello. I love it. Not a single double yet. Hello to Doug in Vermont, and Sheila in Florida, and Busy in Maryland, and Deborah in Kentucky, and Hindi in Toronto, and Anne in the DMV area, and Susan in Gettysburg, and Fred in Maryland, and Dan in Virginia, and Kevin in New Hampshire, Storm in Massachusetts. Hello, Sue in California. Janice, hello, nice to see you today. And Bonnie in Idaho. And hello to Luda and Mark. Hello, Mark. We're glad to have the addition of Mark today in the room, coming in from British Columbia. Glad to see you, Mark. And Jane in the UK, hello. Trish in British Columbia, hello. Tom and Victoria. So there's 2 Victorias in a row, actually 3 Victorias. All right, so we've got Trish, Tom, and Sid all from Victoria in a row on my screen. I love it. Hello, hello, and hello. Hello, Deli in the DMV, Lynn in Connecticut, Rosalie in Michigan, Amy in DC, hello. Barb in Kentucky, hello. Hello to Hetty, nice to see you today. And to Sandy in Maryland, nice to see you. And folks off video, Karen and Gwen, Isabel, Joni, Arlene, and anybody else I missed, glad you're here today. And hello again to everybody out there on Facebook Live. Welcome to the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song as we approach our 300th day of singing together at the end of this month. Stick around for the 31st of January. We're going to have a bit of a celebration in here to celebrate our 300th day. And that is also the night of the Rebels Pub Sing, where we will continue to celebrate with cocktails and make it a very big celebration. So the lyrics are going to be in the chat. That's the lyrics to the chorus. Fabrizio, who's here with us from Sicily, who's been in the room with us, I think this is about his 4th or 5th time. Fabrizio is bringing us another Sicilian song. And we will sing the chorus, and he will graciously sing the lyrics, so we don't have to learn too much Italian on a Sunday morning. There's a donate link in the chat. All the money goes to the artists that sing, lead us in songs, so please donate if you can. And my email's in the chat if you want to be on our Daily Antidote email list, or if you have questions or comments. I love hearing from people. I want to thank Aaron for doing our tech today. Hello, and thank you, Aaron. And I want to welcome coming in from Sicily, Fabrizio Cammarata, who brought us, I think, my favorite of all of the Christmas songs that I got to hear this year. And it still plays in my head. That was a beautiful Tu scendi alla stella. Is that right? Love it. Welcome, Fabrizio. We can't wait for you to teach us the chorus and to sing with you.
Thank you for having me. This is actually like a very happy song, but like any happy Sicilian song, it's actually a bit melancholic as well. And it just it came to my mind because I was watching a documentary, like a very old documentary about Sicily, and there was a wedding scene, and they were singing this song. So this is I would say that this is a wedding song, and it's called Ciuri Ciuri. In Sicilian means flowers, flowers. And the chorus just says, flowers, flowers, all year long. The love that you gave to me, I gave it back to you. That's just as simple as that. And it goes like this. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno. You can sing along with me. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno. L'amore dà stitilu torno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno. La murica mi dà stitilu torno. And then it goes la 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 again. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. La 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 la. Giuri di rosi rossi a luz sbucciare, amare all'uomo capelli di credi, amare così fa sopra gli ari, lustro di paradiso non ne vedi. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. La 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 la. Giuri di gelsomino abbracci canti, tu non mi passi manco qui la mente, tutti li inutili passo cavanti, mi fai ti dispetto eternamente. Giuri, giuri, giuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. Giuri, giuri, giuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno. La 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 la. Se troppo dispettosa tu mia, si brutta la faccia piano cuore, nascono le tue insonno a tia, amare così picchia più giuri, giuri, giuri di tutto l'anno, la murica mi dà stitilu torno.
Thank you. Thank you, Fabri.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful. And it was actually really perfect because one of the things, I'm going to say the terrible N word, which is the news. One of the things that I told everybody that I had read in the Washington Post was that it mentioned that we should all stop reading the news and start looking at pictures of flowers. And I tried it for a couple of days and I felt a lot better. And today, while you were singing, I was reminded, I'm not sure why, but all of a sudden the image popped into my head of the photo from the 60s, I think from 67, where they were putting the flowers in the rifles or the guns. I'm not actually sure what kind, at a Vietnam War protest. Do people remember that photo? It was beautiful. And it was, you remember it too, Fabri?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe because of the military presence right now in DC and the fact that in some many ways we are marching or protesting against some of the same things, that brought that up for me. And yeah, so can you remind me again, just repeat what the chorus means? You flowers.
It says flowers, flowers, flowers from all seasons. Uh, the love that you gave to me, I'm giving it back to you.
That's really cool.
It's like I think it's like a wedding vow or something like that. You know.
That's really, really beautiful. Um, so thank you again. I saw a couple of little comments in the chat, which I'm gonna pull up. So Hindi in Toronto asked if there's a dance that goes to that song.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a particular dance, but it's a very much danced kind of tune. I mean, you rarely just see like a band playing this song and nobody dancing. Actually, like I said, it's a wedding song, so like it's a moment where everybody gets a little bit more drunk on wine and and they all go.
That's really fun. Yeah, so I was thinking that in my history of Italian weddings, I remember a lot of dancing. I can't remember anything specifically called like a particular dance. They seemed a lot the same. So lines or circles with people moving in a step, back and forth. And one of the things that I was also thinking when you were singing that was how much it has in common with the other Italian songs you've brought in the room, which is that it's sort of lulling, like there's a real sort of Zen Buddhist happening in it, that sort of just repetition of the sounds and of the soothing sort of flow of the lyrics, like really just so beautiful.
I think it's probably from some Arab heritage that we have here in Sicily, because we've been dominated by the Arab Empire in the 12th century for a couple centuries, and then I think that's what we get this from, this kind of mantra kind of thing, because the Arabian music is very much like that. There's not much space for harmonically, but uh, because normally you only have two or three chords in a whole song, and the melody is very simple, but it just repeats itself as it like the Sufis do when they pray.
Yep. And there is something, we all know it happens with music often, but there's definitely something with the sort of liltingness of a lot of tunes that can really draw you in and keep you in a good, safe, happy, uplifted space. At the same time, as you said, melancholy. I mean, I think that is really one of the beauties of that. And in a way, maybe that's why the photo popped into my head, that sort of juxtaposition of two things at the same moment. Um, so someone popped into the chat. Can you say, can he say that in Italian? I assume that's Sicilian dialect, but I'm not sure what that is. So Arlene, if you want to pop in the chat a little more on that, I would love to be able to ask him. And let's see, there's a lot of thank yous, lovely songs. And somebody said that they like the passion that you bring to it, which I would also say is one of your trademarks. You feel to me like you are inside your songs and really feeling them, not just performing them. And in a space like this where we're all singing with you, it's nice to have it feel as though you are also just singing in some ways for your own sake. That's just really lovely.
And I'm happy that I can, deliver that.
It's really, really great. Thank you. So I'm just going to check and see, Arlene, if you, whoops, I'm looking, I have two chats going. So now I'm checking the second chat. No, I don't see anything else. So that's okay. All right. So if anybody else does have a comment or a question, please go ahead and pop it into the chat. I'm going to ask Fabrizio just a couple things. And then if we're all feeling quiet today, we'll just sing a little bit more again before we leave. Fabrizio, can you just tell us a little bit about how what we are going through over here looks to you and to your fellow country people from over there?
I mean, no wonder it came as a surprise, and that felt like something impossible to happen, really. Italy and Italian government and Italian politics, we haven't had a huge reputation in the last 20 years, maybe. And you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was beyond all that, really. And we were so sorry. I mean, but the impression of of the people here is that this is a very, very small minority, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous anyway, and so it was very sad here as well. I mean, we didn't watch this as some kind of show on the TV news and stuff. It felt really sad because we all thought, if this happens where democracy is supposed to be like at its best, then we're all at risk. You know, you shouldn't. Uh, you know, it's just I think that democracy is something that you have to fight for like every day, and don't forget it, and never feel it for granted. That's what we all thought.
Yep, that's beautiful. Thank you. I would say it sort of goes along with something that I saw yesterday that I actually copied, and it's already in the email that I'm going to be sending to everybody with other items from the last couple of days. And it said something about the fact that or maybe it was actually in the chat here, I don't remember, something about that you can't, that being a citizen doesn't mean sitting down. It's actually action steps. And so Aaron, do you remember, was it in the chat here? Yeah, okay. So that's in the email already. It is, of course, fragile. It's all so fragile. And one of the wake up calls this whole year, I would say, has been in a sense, the sort of la la land that we've been lucky enough to live in. Some of us have been lucky enough to live in, right? There's plenty of folks in this country who have not been living in it. And then I guess I would say it's good to hear you say, that you think it's a small minority. That is, of course, what we think and hope here, despite the number of votes, that seems so nearly evenly split. The idea that the number of people who are willing to take it to the extremes that we saw would be much less. But I will say that I mentioned I was in a folkloric discussion on QAnon the other day, and the notion that it's expanded also to other countries and very prevalent in other countries is another reminder that in fact it's fragile, and it's, there's risk everywhere right now. If a sentiment like that is underground in a lot of different places, it shows that there's a lot of work that needs to be done on a lot of levels. And
probably in Italy as well. I mean, I can feel that that it's growing, and that all the populist parties in Europe, they're all getting, uh, you know, they're getting consensus, because that's the thing about when in moments of fear like this one we're living in, that's what they can feed the most, this kind of their consensus with.
Yep. And it's funny because I was actually thinking, when I'm down on the hill, I'll take some pictures and I'll share them with everyone in the room. And instead, I think I'm going to ask everybody to take a picture of a flower and maybe in another few weeks, we'll have Fabri back with the same song, but instead of seeing all of our faces, at some moment, we'll all put up our screen flower pictures. So Fabri, you can just sing to a bunch of flowers and then we'll all come back and smile at each other. Would be more fun than looking at pictures of fences and folks in military gear, right? So I want to thank everybody. Another quick check in on the chat. Hang on one second. So Caroline has said, check out Representative Jamie Raskin's impassioned words today on defending democracy on CNN's State of the Union. And there's a quote, "I'm not going to lose my son at the end of 2020 and lose my country and republic in 2021. That's very powerful. And a big shout out to Jamie Raskin, who did lose his 20-something son on New Year's Eve, I believe. And at some point, I think we're going to send a tribute song in here in this room to Jamie and others who lost people in 2021. Yeah, somebody pointed out that Doug is already sitting in front of his flower scene, which I really love. Yeah. Oh, in fact, maybe that's the better way to do it. We should all sit in front of our flowers so we get both. That's the non-juxtaposition. Our smiles and the flowers at the same time is like double whammy happiness. And let's see. And Karen, you also put in about the backgrounds. Janice and Fred have both put in upcoming events, so please make sure you check the chat for the upcoming events. Fabri, do you have anything coming up? Are you doing any concerts online or anything, or are you just hanging low?
No, I mean, it's not yet the moment to plan anything because I'm used to travel and tour Europe, and right now it's pretty impossible. We're in a lockdown here in Sicily right now for another 2 weeks at least. And no, you can't really plan anything. I'm just taking it easy, you know. I don't want to go mad after this, you know. Like I don't think it's, you know, it's a good time for doing too many compromises. It's just, you know, sometimes you just have to stand still, and that's fine. That's what I'm
Yep.
doing. And of course, it's always a pleasure to be with you and just break this every once in a while.
That's really great. Thank you. Yeah, that's the lesson I think a lot of us learned back in March, was that we needed to pause and take a break and fail at sourdough bread, or potentially succeed if there are folks in the room who succeeded. And I'm about to try sourdough bread round 3. I'll let you know how that goes. Thus far, my pizza doughs that are not sourdough are coming out great, and the rest of it, not so much. So, all right. So Fabri, I want to thank you so much, and do want to look at some ways to be able to sing with you again. I can't actually remember which month is Italian American Heritage Month here in the US, but maybe we can do something fun with you that at that time, unless it's really far away, in which case we'll figure out a way to do something before then. And I also want to remind everybody that we do have our 300th day celebration in whatever form that's going to take in this room on the, oh, wait, actually I have to remind everybody of one more thing. All right, so 300th day celebration in this room. 2 more things. Here we go. The pub sing on the night of the 31st, if you want to kind of continue the celebration with us with a beer in hand, or whatever you drink in hand. Our community sing on the 21st, amazing lineup. We're actually going to do it this time a little bit like we did the cocktail party, 1 song per artist, and please join us for that. We're going to be celebrating Martin Luther King and a lot of other things on the January 21 pub sing, plus a lot of birthdays. There are a lot of folks in this room, Kevin, hint, hint, and others who have birthdays this month. And joining me and Busy Graham and other folks on our team on Wednesday, the 27th, for the Constructive White Conversations conversation. And shoot, there was one other thing. And I don't remember. Does anybody else remember? What else am I announcing? Community sing, pub sing, Constructive White Conversation, and yep. So Fabri, I'm going to ask you if you'll give us the chorus a couple more times, and maybe by the time you're done, I will have remembered whatever the last thing was. Oh, I remembered. Hang on. How could I forget inauguration? Like, one would think that would be like foremost on my mind. All right. So here's the complication. Inauguration is at what time? Yes, you said noon EST, right? So how could we be singing and being at inauguration at the same time? So what we're going to do, Aaron, give me a thumbs up. Are we actually going to do it? Yes. Is we're going to invite everyone to a watch party here at the Daily Antidote link, and we can watch it in here together as we like, or watch it on your own if you prefer. And then at the moment that inauguration ends, and I confess I'm not really sure what an ending moment of inauguration is, we'll all be here to figure that out together. And then we can burst into song. So, and the Nields, I believe, are watching the inauguration with us, and they are the ones who are leading us in song that day. And we're gonna have a new version of America the Beautiful that fixes some of the things that were wrong with the old version. And they're gonna share their new video with us. So please join us then. And now really, Fabri, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Thank you.
Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la musica mi dà stittilu torno. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la musica mi dà stittilu torno. La 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 la, la 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 la. Gonna sing one verse and then the chorus again. Ciuri di rosi russi a luz sbucciari, amara lobuca figli di credi, amara così fa supraniari, lustro di paradiso non ne vidi. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la musica mi dà stittilu torno. Ciuri, ciuri, ciuri di tutto l'anno, la musica mi dà stittilu torno. La 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 la, la 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 la.
Thank you, Fabri.
Thank you.
The perfect way to go out into our Sunday. So I am gonna have everybody help me say goodbye to everybody, but I first want to shout out Mark, who is in the screen with Luda, because it was just so much fun to watch the two of you holding hands and rocking back and forth and enjoying that music. Thank you for bringing that delightfulness to our room today, and for sharing that warmth with us. Let's all give Fabri one more big thank you. And we're going to say goodbye to the folks on Facebook Live, and hope you'll join us again tomorrow and for all the other exciting events that we have coming up here in this room.